Now, there are other reasons for writing a book that are perfectly honorable. You should be aware of them. And I apologize to the people who took the writing a proposal class yesterday. How many of you are here? 1, 2, oh, I guess you've heard this before, but I'll say it again. Maybe it'll come out more coherently this time. And no one will interrupt me, unless it's you. Michael, my partner, we were always stepping on each other's toes, but it was fun. A lot of people write books for very deep personal reasons. I'm a licensed psychotherapist in the state of California, and I know whereof I speak. In many ways, being an editor is like being a therapist, because you need to know how to make the unconscious conscious, and you need to really, there's a lot of transference and countertransference and projection between writers and editors. So it's important for me, at least, to have these skills. And I know that the reasons people write books are often quite complex and profound, and sometimes not quite self-understood, if you will. For example, you may write a book, as I said earlier, to make sense of your life and to try to figure things out. And you know, try to, for example, a lot of people, particularly of the baby boomer generation, which is a good reading generation, are now writing memoirs. How many people here are writing memoirs? Not too many. All right, well, a lot of time, how many people are here writing fiction, okay? All right, let's talk about it in terms of fiction. Many fiction writers are writing out of anger. Anger. They're passionately upset about something. It may be political or personal, or it may be their divorce. And the book may really be about revenge. Revenge. I have a good friend. In fact, I can't say who it is because he's here, not in this room. But he's a really good friend. He's written 4 books about his second wife. And each of them is really, she was wrong. I was right. And he's very good at it. He's very good at it. In fact, I can mention the name of someone else whose every single one of his books has every single character in it is based upon a real person with whom the author is getting revenge. That's Saul Bellow. Have you read his books? People who are in Saul Bellow's books are not happy about Saul. And now he's passed away, but his books live on, and they're still unhappy. And there have been lawsuits, there have been lawsuits and litigation of people who had to be settled and things had changed so they weren't so recognizable. But every one of his books is about some people or group of people that he's got something snarky to say about them. But he's brilliant. Did he win the Nobel Prize? He's a fabulous writer. He's very. I love a lot of his books. But it's important for you to understand and to have some kind of modulation or calculation in your psychological motivation for writing a novel, so that it doesn't carry you away and take you in wrong turns, so that because of the autobiographical elements and the psychological elements, that you're not making mistakes in the story that really are based upon, well, that's the way it really happened. It doesn't matter how it really happened. What matters is it a good story? You know, does the reader keep turning the pages? It doesn't have to go into some backstory or digression or other tangent, which is simply so you can make your point. You know, so that's one of Rinzler's rules. Why are you writing? Here's another one of Rinzler's rules that's extremely unpopular. Make an outline. That's right, an outline, a plan for the book, a real outline. It's not for publication. It's really only for yourself and an editor, if you're working with an editor who can help you with it. But it's simply not true that great writers sort of close their eyes, wait for the muse to descend on their forehead in a darkened room and write. It doesn't happen that way. And everybody here who's had some writing experience probably knows that. It's really difficult, particularly as I've often seen. It's very sad sometimes when I see the 600-page manuscript that's come in that somebody has never shown to anybody and obviously never planned a page, just wrote. And it's got some good things in it, but it completely has to be started over again because it made a wrong turn. It's on the wrong track. The beginning should have been the end. The character should have been a different. This character should have been this character. These 3 characters should be combined. This character should be eliminated, and there should be a third person, not a first person, or a first person, not a third person. There's all kinds of technical reasons why a plan, making an outline, is one of the rules I'm still confident about. and I strongly recommend it. What does it mean? Well, it means starting, let's say, for sake of conversation, 12 chapters. What's in every chapter? And I don't mean a long-winded synopsis of every chapter. I mean, break it down by the sections of the chapter, the scenes. Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3. And a few lines to yourself, sort of key words as to what happens in that scene. So you can look at it. And the point is to be able to move it around. It's almost like a storyboard when you're writing a screenplay. I've been involved in a little dabbled in film business. Sometimes it's very useful to look at the, literally on a board or a bullet board, you know, to say, well, no, this should be here, this should be here, you know, there's a hole here, this should be out, and so forth. That's the purpose of an outline. Okay, now we'll come back to that, and I'll give you a chance to ask questions. But making a plan is so useful. I mean, virtually every writer I've ever worked with has made a plan. Here's another rule, Rinzler's rule, which is to do your homework, particularly in nonfiction. Is anybody here writing nonfiction? Okay, good. Research the competition. That's your homework. Make sure you're not writing a book that's already been written. That would be a real waste of time. There's things about writing nonfiction books which are easy to do now because of technology. You can search on Amazon, you can search on Google, you can see what are the books that are out there that are similar. For example, parenting. I mean, there's like 20,000 parenting books out there. So what does that mean? First of all, it means there's a really good market for parenting books. Every year there's new parents. And there's some very successful books out there that you really need to know about so you're not reinventing the wheel and you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Whatever you're doing that's in the same field as the competition really has to be different. Now, it may not be a completely, you know, you're not Einstein discovering a new formula in the secrets of the universe, but it has to have some different attitude or some different point of view or something, location, style, culture, narrative voice, something that's really different about your book so it will stand out from the others. And I'm a guy who publishes 4 or 5 new parenting books a year, and I know how hard it is, but it's possible. It is possible. And that's why so many books are rejected and don't succeed, but there are occasionally that breakthrough which is different from all other books. I'm just enjoying a little success, which is always fun, with a book called The Big Book of Parenting by Michelle Borba. And she's written, I've done 7 books with her. She's the parenting guru on the Today Show. Her last few books haven't sold that well. She just wrote a book that has like gone over the top. We're doing like 2,000 or 3,000 copies a week, which is great.
What's it called?
The Big Book of Parenting.
Oh, okay.
There's another word there. Parenting solutions. Those words count. Title.